Why, hello there. At the time of recording, it is 115 days until Shadow of the Erdtree comes out, and this is the Elden Wait countdown, where every day until the Shadow of the Erdtree releases, I'll be discussing the upcoming DLC to make the wait just a little bit shorter. If you'd like to take this journey with me, please subscribe to the Lore Hunter and make sure to turn notifications on so you get every video as they come out. So we've covered some important topics on the Elden Wait. We've talked about the setting for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, the Land of Shadow, and what that contains in the scope of the map. We've talked about Melina and her potential role in the DLC. We've talked about the unique leveling system for Shadow of the Erdtree and how that will play into things. But I think this is probably the most important topic we've covered so far. And that's how huggable the monsters in the Shadow of the Erdtree trailer are. In this video, I'm ranking the 10 monsters in the Shadow of the Erdtree trailer from least to most huggable. My ranking is taking into account factors like how cute and cuddly they are, how much it looks like they might want or not want a hug, and of course, their ability to give and receive a hug. Let's get into it. At number 10, we have the Burning Wicker Man. This looks like the Wicker Man of Celtic paganism, which was a ceremony where it was filled with people and animals and burned as a sacrifice. Zuli the Witch also pointed out in her video that it looks like this guy from Berserk. Miyazaki won't tell us what this thing is called because apparently it's a spoiler, but tells us that it was a terrible device used in war in the Land of Shadow. I rank the Wicker Man lowest because nothing about it looks cuddly or like it would give a nice hug. You know, it's on fire. It appears to be made out of metal or burnt wood, which isn't very cuddly, and the scale of this guy means it's more likely to crush us than hug us. At number 9, we have the Candletree Fire Breathers. User CuteKid210 on Reddit posted that this weapon the enemy wields looks a lot like the symbol on the Candletree wooden shield from the base game. This symbol can also be found on this knight's shield and looks like the shape of the branch that is impaled into this monk fella. The item description for the Candletree wooden shield says that it's thought to represent a surreptitious prophecy of cardinal sin. The lit Candletree design was forbidden. So a secret prophecy about the cardinal sin of burning the Erdtree? This would be in line with the heretical elements we've already seen in the DLC, and I have another thought about it, but I'll need to save that for another video. I put them at number 9 in huggability because they're breathing fire, but they also seem pretty standoffish, backing away from the player. I'm getting the vibe that they just don't really want to be hugged, and that's fine. And I don't think their gangly frame would make for a nice hug anyway. At number 8, we have the Lion Dance. Miyazaki said that this boss represents a pre-Erdtree culture, and I think that culture definitely gave hugs. This design is evoking the Lion Dance costume from Chinese culture that performs a traditional Chinese dance at various festivals and events. I'm ranking it based on the overall design, even though this monster is technically a few omen in a costume. While cute and a little fluffy looking, there's also a lot of horns going on. And in general, the shape of it makes me think it would be pretty awkward to try and hug. But I did give it a few extra points because I'm sure the omen inside would give a good squeeze. Number 7 is the Goopy Horse. Horses get a raw deal in Elden Ring, and just like Verdanza Leonard, this horse looks like it could really use a hug. The problem though is that it looks like it's kind of gooping away at the back, which seems like a hug might be a tactile nightmare. Sorry, pal. At number 6, we have the Swole Rat. This one was a controversial placement for me. He looks like he could use a hug, and with those big arms, I bet he gives a great bear hug. But it seems like instead of legs, he comes to what could be like a slug-like bottom half. And that again raises questions about the tactile nature of a hug with him. The reason I put this guy ahead of the Goopy Horse is simply that he's more capable of giving a hug, even if I think the horse needs a hug more. Number 5 is the Sucker Dude. This may also be a bit controversial given that a hug from this monster might not be entirely pleasant, but I have to give points for it demonstrating that it can hug you and really wants to hug you. We're going to have to work on having it not try and eat you, but I see that as room for improvement. At number 4, we have this hippo looking guy. They're looking a little cute, a little furry, which seems like they could make for a really cozy hug. The issue I see is what seems like this crucible magic in which it porcupines out. All of those quills could really ruin a hug, earning it a spot further down the list. Getting into the top 3, we have the boar. I mean, this boar is a cutie and furry, and I'm thinking a really cozy animal to hug. And it goes above the hippo because it doesn't produce quills, which I see as a huge plus. This gets in on a bit of a technicality, but I had to include them. But at number 2, we have Mesmer's snipples. Ren Jingles on Twitter pointed out that Mesmer's snake seemed to be coming out of his torso, and Quaylog coined the term snipples. These guys look so cute, I wanted to hug them from the moment I saw them. I may be a little biased, but I had a pet snake for a time, and she was very cuddly. I think it's important in a number 2 slot that they be able to hug back, and although it's not a traditional hug, they could totally wrap around you and give you a really good squeeze. And finally, topping the ranking of huggability is of course our worm friend. While probably not much of a surprise, this spot is well deserved. I need to both protect and hug this cutie, and I get the vibes that worm friend would love a hug. And not only does it have some little arms reaching out for an embrace, but similar to Mesmer's snipples, it looks like it could give an extra squeeze with its wormy body. So it's not only cute and giving hug vibes, but also versatile in its hug technique, which I think makes it more than worthy of the number 1 spot. And there you have it, the monsters of the Shadow of the Erdtree trailer ranked by how huggable they are. Let me know in the comments what your ranking would be, and if you have something I ranked low at a much higher rank, feel free to give me your case. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and this time 1 like equals 1 hug. And if you'd like to join me on the journey to Shadow of the Erdtree, please subscribe to the Lore Hunter and make sure to turn notifications on. Thanks for watching.